here. Give me a 1 second here. Let me on board.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Walker. My safety commitment is to ensure a safe work environment. Welcome to QCC Scrub On. As you can tell, we had a very unique opportunity. We got 6 new team members from 10 weeks to 1 week. So we decided to go ahead and introduce them to some of the Toyota tools. The first one that we started with was the QCC. All right, so we went to our QCC tree. There's low-lying branches, mid-level branches, and high branches. The higher the branches, the more difficult the issue. The lower-lying branches, we felt that they could achieve them with no problems. So we decided to challenge them and stretch them, so we went after the middle branches. So we shook the tree. See what fell out. Skid scrubber not cleaning every skid is what fell out, and that's what the team selected. I'm now going to pass it off to my team.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ben Criado. Starting with step 1, clarifying the problem. The ultimate goal is to clean every sub-attachment before it's loaded at the PTED unload, therefore creating a higher quality vehicle. The background is only 98% of the skids getting cleaned. The ideal situation is that 100% of the attachments get cleaned. The current situation is that 2% are not getting cleaned, leaving us a gap with the 2% attachments not getting cleaned. Step 2, breaking down the problem. The situation occurs when the scrubber is out of the automatic function. As you can see in red, the problem is on Mondays at startup or anytime the power is interrupted, which typically occurs after maintenance in that area on the weekends. At this point, I'm going to pass it over to Steve.
Hello, my name is Steve. Our next step was to set a target. We set a target to close this 2% gap by ensuring that the skid scrubber is online always during production in order to clean 100% of sub-attachments, and we gave ourselves a target date of the end of the year last year. Our next step was root cause analysis. We did this by looking at the 4 M's. We quickly found that method, material, and man were not an issue. By asking ourselves the 5 whys, we determined that machine was the issue. Why? Because it's not cleaning every skid. Why? Because sub-attachments are passing by inactive scrubbers. Why? Because the scrubber was not on. Why? Because the scrubber panel power-up was overlooked during startup and after maintenance. Why? Because there was not a designated task or safeguard to ensure that the panel was on. Here's my teammate, Casey.
Good afternoon, I'm Casey Walker. Step 5 was to develop countermeasures. Our team collectively thought of 5 different countermeasures to come up with, keeping in mind cost, effectiveness, feasibility, durability, and influence. The first step that we came up with was to add it to the startup sheet on Monday mornings. The second idea was to interlock the skid roller to the brush system so that both are activated together. The third idea was to leave it on. The fourth idea was to develop logic to tie into the skid roller so that they could communicate proficiently with each other. The fifth idea was to tie it into the end-on system so that an alert would be sent when they were not working properly. As you can see, the point system shown right here, to leave it on was not feasible due to safety concerns and down maintenance time. The first idea that we kept, which was to add it to the startup sheet, and the other 3 ideas we also kept, and we broke them down to execute as one step together. Next, I'm going to pass it off to my teammate, Oscar.
Good afternoon, my name is Oscar Samaniego. Activity plan development, collection of data, schematics, and purchase of wire and relays through maximum. It was performed by every single team member. Analyzing and modification of the POC task was given to Oscar, Casey, and John. Installation of relays and wires, it was given to Ben, Steve, and Rick. Confirmation, it was performed by every single team member. Step 6, see countermeasures through. On your left-hand side, you can see the scrubber panel. The scrubber panel purpose is to turn on and off the scrubbers. Panel 26, 3, and 1 purpose is to manage the conveyor system and move the skids around. Unfortunately, we didn't have communication between any of those 3 panels, so we had to establish that communication. Inside panel 26, 3, and 1, we had to wire a relay to the device net. The output from that relay was sent over to the scrubber panel, and it was wired to the terminal strip. We also added a second relay to that terminal strip, and the information went back to 26, 3, and 1, and it was wired to the device net. This is the overview how it looks from the outside. Conveyor panel, we start the first relay. Information goes over to the scrubber panel. Install the second relay. Information goes back to 26, 3, and 1. With this, we have achieved field communication between all 3 panels. This is the before and after changes on the PLC. On the after, we added both relays. We also added a light alarm on the light tower of OP26-3. We also added the same alarm over at CCR room, which is going to be displayed over at the main screen. We also added a bypass switch. The bypass switch is not to turn off the scrubbers, but to bypass the system in case something goes wrong and we cannot fix them right away. With this, I'll hand it over to Rick.
Thank you. My name is Rick. At step 7, monitor both results and processes. We had to confirm proper operation of the system after changes were implemented. And not only did we have to confirm the scrubber operation after changes, we also had to confirm the operation of the e-stops, the CCR alarms, the bypass switch operation, the shutdowns, and the auto start functions. We then monitored the system for several days, including multiple Monday startups without any issues. We learned that without our confirmation, areas outside of the skid scrubber could possibly be impacted, creating downtime, scrap, or an increase in man hours throughout the plant. Step 8, standardized successful processes. We updated the prints, created a before and after copy of the logic. We inserted that logic in a backup folder on the network, created a single point training, completed a process change form, and all of this was done to give team members a resource to retrieve this information in the future should a need arise. Now I'll turn it over to my teammate John.
Thank you, Rick. My name is John Scarlett, and I will be reviewing our process for this QCC. So we had a sub attachment not getting clean, debris not being removed from the bottom. The scrubber brushes were not being active at all times. This is possibly due to the fact that the startup was missed up when we were restarting on Mondays or after a power outage. Our decisions were to add a start spot to the check sheet for Monday mornings, and also to install some hardware as well as to modify some software logic. So as you can see, we implemented the start up to the check sheet, and we added the control relay and the wiring, and then we added the software functions and modifications. We will continue to monitor the brush system, review the sub-attachment pressure washing system, see if that can be better used in our facility, as well as conduct more QCC events to better develop our skill set. Now back to Jimmy.
All righty. Thank you, guys. At this point, we're going to go ahead and go to reflections. We talked with these gentlemen, and what they have got out of this was truly amazing. So I'm going to let them tell you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Once again, my name is Ben Criado. My reflection on this QCC would be how quickly and effectively a new team as ourselves were able to come together and effectively correct a problem that needed to be addressed, and how following the steps of the QCC and the process is how this could get done. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Once again, my name is Steven Rodriguez. When we started this QCC, I had only been here a couple weeks, and I was immediately impressed by how we went from addressing an issue to brainstorming solutions together, and then actually implementing those changes within a few days. My previous work experience, changes like that don't happen very quickly, if ever. So I'm very happy to be somewhere where they actually valued our input on this project and followed through on the changes. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Once again, I'm Casey Walker. My reflections on this QCC, where I enjoyed the part where I was introduced to all the other new coworkers, and we all collectively came up with different ideas. We're from different fields. We put our ideas together to solve a problem and actually solve the problem. Also, being introduced to logic and getting an understanding of the PLCs, that was very good for me. That was a good experience. I look forward to being involved in more QCCs in the future as well.
Good afternoon. My name is Walter Samaniego. What I have learned from this QCC is that we can actually work as a team, where not only one person takes the decision, but also all of us, we can actually bring out different ideas, either select one of them or multiple of them and combine them to solve the main issue. Thank you.
Just died.